Good Thursday evening to you. How is everyone doing? It is good to see you, and it is good to be seen by you. I am your handsome, hairy, hirsute, humble host, Bill Sylvie, a.k.a. the Dungeon Delver. That's right, the one, and as far as science is concerned, the only guy with that appellation. But I hope everybody's having an absolutely wonderful evening this evening. And we have got some guests coming on tonight. That's right. A couple of my favorite people are going to be joining us here in a few minutes. And they're going to talk about their Kickstarter project, which is right there in the top of the chat. Hello, Slycanthrope. Why is it you only ever show up when I have these guests on? I don't... it's a mystery. Anyway, so we'll be bringing them on here in just a hot minute. I want to remind you folks that both registration for players and game masters for the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention is still open. You can still sign up for the guac. Just go over to warhorn.net and grab yourself a spot. Look for the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. Go to Teespring, or I think it's just Spring now, and look for the Dungeon Minister to get your merch. Guys, we have door prizes, we have physical stuff, we have sponsors from Frog God and Hellabard Games, who are the sponsor of tonight's live stream. We've got giveaways from Jack Photon. Don't miss out is what I'm saying. All right. If you're only going to sit at home and go to one gaming convention this year, make it the Great Underground Online Gaming Con. So greetings. Slycanthrope says that's not entirely true, just mostly true. Orbital Air. Greetings. Bob Jester. Hello. Death Angels with the original. Hello. See you over there. Tonka Lightmane. Greetings. I give greetings to all of you. But without further ado, our guests tonight are, well, they're not new to the role-playing game industry, certainly not. But they've got a couple of new projects that are out there. I was lucky enough to, thanks to you guys largely, and your largesse and generosity, was able to back their first Kickstarter, Till Death Do Us Part, and I actually got to go over to their house and game with them during a playthrough of it, which was super duper cool. But now they're not satisfied with just the one. They have got another one out. It is linked right in the top of the chat. And if you haven't backed it, what's wrong with you? You should check it out. But don't take my word for it. Let's welcome ERIK and HEIDI, Garland and Gygax, respectively. Welcome. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing great.
Great. Thank you. How are you?
I can't complain. I now could, but who would listen? But anyway, so the original plan was, I was like, there's still a grand out. That'll be perfect because I can bring you guys on the show and then you'll hit your goal. Yeah, no, you didn't wait around. You didn't wait around for the show. Y'all hit that Kickstarter goal, and it is currently sitting at, good Lord, where is that? That is 13,223 simoleons, which is a cool $8,000 plus over your original goal. So this is got to be pretty exciting for you guys, right?
I'm practically. No, I am very excited. Yes.
Yes, it's very exciting, and we've added like extras, and we are very excited about our projects, and we have so many more things to go. But now we're like, we got to write more for this one. So here we go. But we are very excited about it. We'll talk more about it.
Yeah, as much as you want to. Right.
No, but
you're not going to be quiet.
I'm not going to be quiet. No, but this is there's a lot in this module. It's big.
Mm-hmm.
It's crunchy.
It is. It's so fun.
Good. I look forward to seeing this one too. Now, going back to your first project, my own feelings about it, which I will openly admit were very positive with Till Death Do Us Part / Darkness Under the Waterfowl. What's been the reception you guys have gotten largely from other media outlets on that first project?
Oh God, they hate it. Oh yeah, no, it's like we've been. No, I don't think we heard.
No, it's only heard good things, and we actually a large percentage of the backers that are backing this one. I mean, we have repeat backers in this Kickstarter, but the ones that are new are adding the 2-pack on there.
Yeah, we've had. I mean, some of the nicest people reach out that that they really liked the first one. And remember, Till Death Do Us Part was we were doing for fun. We started. It was just a project.
We originally did it for fun, and then we said, "Oh, we'll do it for GaryCon, and we'll give it to the people that come. That we've invited, the very small group that's coming to our wedding reception." And then we just said, "Well, hey, this is fun. Let's just flesh it out a little bit and kickstart it," because we already, we put in so much art and we started getting,
Right. I mean, we looked at it and we thought other people might actually like this,
Yeah.
And they did. It's been great.
So
it's
a lot
been
of it
really
was,
great.
yeah, there's a lot of puns and tongue in cheek and this and that. And we try to put like fun things in this one too, but it's a little bit different feel, I would say, in Tomb of the Vandal Chief, right?
It's so funny because we're talking. It's like, so then what happens next? Well, they're dead. It's like, okay, so let's talk this through. It's like,
no.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Something that's not in 5th edition. I'm just going to tell you that's not in the 5th edition monster manual. That we had to go back to other editions. This is not a spoiler, but we discovered something is not in 5th edition. Rot grubs. Rot grubs are not in 5th edition. They're not. Some third-party publishers have written some stuff. It's in the yeah.
You're giving them.
So guess what? They're not in.
They will be in this one.
No. We wouldn't do that to our players. No, but.
No, that's awesome. And I always felt like there was something that was a little off about 5e, but now I know what it was.
Yeah, we're fixing
what it was. There's no rod grubs in it.
Yeah. Well, there will be now. Or, ours is not exactly, we had our own monsters and make up stuff as we go. So
we need a monster that does X, and we look in the monster manual, it's not there, so we just started creating them.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got this poor sucker who's going to be doing the 1st edition conversions, right? And there's a whole slew of new monsters he's going to have to stat out.
Oh no. What do you do?
Right.
I'm sure he'll figure it out. He's fairly clever.
He's fairly clever. So if your viewers don't know, so Bill has agreed, and we've worked out, he is going to do so we're going to do a full 1E conversion of Tomb of the Vandal Chief. So there will be a PDF version that'll come out. It's going to have its own UPC code. It's going to have its own ISBN number. And he's going to be on the front cover, with 1E, with AD&D conversion by Bill Sylvie. And now, because enough people kept backing, we actually have to write a second book that we're going to print in the old brown cover. And it's going to be a digest-sized book. And we're even going to use a typewriter font for parts of it to give it a real old school feel. And the OD&D conversion is going to be also done by Bill Sylvie. So we have to use another ISBN number for another PDF version. So, and he'll be credited on the cover.
I'm really looking forward to that. And this is one thing I have to, this is your show. You are my guest, and we're here to talk about your projects. But I do have to mention something here. Back in 2003, when your dad sort of said, "Okay, everybody that wants to come and write stuff with me, raise your hand," I stuck mine up first and tallest because thank you, Jeremy. Thank you very much. Thank you for the super. But I said, I thought back to being 11 years old and having next to no friends when we moved from Alabama to Florida, and finding the world of Dungeons and Dragons, finding that that new avenue of expression. And, you know, you ask kids when they're 10, 11 years old, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do when you grow up? You know, I want to, you know, drive a race car. I want to be an astronaut. You know, I want to pitch in the World Series. I wanted to write something for Dungeons and Dragons and see my name next to Gygax on the cover. And it's finally coming to fruition now. And that
Gary, but you know,
hey, I said Gygax. I said Gygax.
You just didn't hear. You said
no. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's just let it go.
But
that's what I'm saying for me.
But it is such an honor to be a part of this, and I thank you for the opportunity you have given me, and I hope you think it'll be worth it. I hope you think it'll be worth the effort.
I don't have that. We find you to be quite tolerable.
Well, you know, it's interesting. My wife has put up with me for almost 25 years now, so I must be doing something right.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we have our friction. You know, sometimes she's like, "Please let me call home. I won't tell anyone," and you know, things like that. But it's. But anyway,
so wrong.
But no, seriously, I was seeing a girl for the longest time. She didn't know it. You know, as binoculars.
Nice.
Anyhow, but to get back to the module at hand, now this is officially, so the code on this, because as you know, we grognards are all about module codes. This is GG2, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
And, yes, and we've unlocked GG3, which is the digest size, you know, Curse of Candlelight Manor. But yes, this is GG2.
We will not do GG1E or GG1,
GG2E or GG2. We're just gonna keep the numbers going to.
Somebody told us that confused them, so we're going to do 4, 5, 6 in that order.
Good. Just on through. When you hit 99, will you roll over to double aught or 100? We just keep going with 100.
We'll figure it out.
It's a problem that I think all creators would love to have. Gee, what do I do when I run out of serial numbers for all the stuff I've made? But so the world you created, and we actually because it was April. Was it early April? You guys were here last. Was it that long ago? I don't keep track of my shows. I just have, you know, people leave me comments, and I'm like, okay, I guess
we started in April. So if it was still live, it was in April.
Yeah.
So, for the folks in the audience who don't know, there was a really cool video, the trailer basically for the Kickstarter, which was just amazing. It was an absolutely lovely lead-in trailer, and so I guess the next question is what is when do we get the campaign setting? I guess I think I asked you this last time, but when comes the campaign setting?
So we're doing the world building. We're doing a little bit at a time. Mm-hmm. And we're releasing some maps and a few things to go with the maps. And I think we've put a couple of PDFs on the website on gaxland.com. There's a couple of PDFs
that are free and downloadable to anybody who wants to go check them out.
And so there's a history of the city of Sorhold, which is a city where some of this is based, and then an intro to this adventure. There's a couple there on the page. If you look on the front page, you can find them. And so we've got maps that are gonna we unlocked. So there's some maps, and there's gonna be a lot of locations on the maps that aren't gonna make sense to anyone. And hopefully we'll be putting out a gazetteer pretty soon. and some more information. But the island continent where we're doing all this, the idea is somebody could take it, anybody's campaign, they could pick it up and put it in their world. You know, if they're just at burnout or they just need a break from what they're doing. Oh, by the way, far to the south of here, there's this island continent, and it's a desert, and it really sucks. And the second book is lethal as hell, and we're going to play it for a while. And
yeah, so we'll be building on it, but people can also just put it into their campaigns as well.
Yes.
We are going to build on it, and there's more things that we're going to do. We do have a couple other projects that we're looking at later this year that will take us out.
Because we needed more to do.
They're going to take us out of this world, out of this, you know, we're doing something. We've got a couple things.
We're signed up
on the back burner
for GameholeCon. We've signed up for something that we've talked about. We haven't even started writing yet. So we're going to be running games at GameholeCon for something
in Madison,
that
Wisconsin,
is not,
in October.
That is not even, that has nothing to do with this island continent of Dundle and doesn't have anything to do with Sorehold, and it's completely different.
We don't want to give any hints.
No.
Okay.
But you guys can look. If you go look at if you're registered for GameholeCon, you can go and look at the name of our games. And it's all there. It's on their website. So you should go check out.
And for those of you who are curious, here is, there we go. There's the Gaxland page.
Yes,
you just want to check that out there. That's slam.com. The URL up on the screen. It's not clickable, but right there in all its glory, you can get your free intro to Dundle Chief. There's their contact info right there, and links to where you can buy stuff on drive-through. We have our first question of the evening from Fuchsia. Is that a cat tree behind Eric? That's my audience asking you.
Yes.
Questions.
Yes. We are.
We have 2 kitties
and 2 dogs.
Yeah, 2 cats and 2 dogs and 2 kids.
So kitties. Tell them about the kitties.
Nikita, who is, Nikita, well, they're both rescues. So Nikita just adopted me in Hawaii when I lived there. Both of them are from Hawaii, actually. Nikita's about 13 years old, and she's white with different stripes. She's pretty shy, though.
She'll make my parents,
maybe. But Mittens was just a kitten that was a tiny kitten that was running across a highway. My sister Lisa rescued, and I took it in because she already had a bunch of rescue kitties. And as soon as, and I took her in, and she's the little tuxedo kitty that made an appearance on the last show. So that's Mittens. The girls named her, of course, with a name like Mittens.
Except it was a he. He was.
Well, they thought it was a boy, and we found out when Mittens never had, something to send for the surgery, so they went in. They're like, "Oh, we found, ovaries. Mittens is a girl." So I'm like, "Okay." I don't know. That's what the vet, it's like, okay.
And then we have Thor, who Heidi and the girls
bought. There's another rescue dog that I got. He was 19 pounds when he was like 10 or 12 weeks old, and now he's like about 119. Yeah. So, and he's 2 years old.
He's half Met Lab and half Great Pyrenees, and he loves me.
Yes, he does.
And then we have Duncan. Duncan will be 15 tomorrow. Duncan is a lost asshole, and he'll be 15 tomorrow. It's his birthday, and he's AKC registered, and he knows it. He's just a jerk, and
he's a sweetie.
He's a jerk, and his name is actually Garland's Duncan, Idaho. So he's a good old boy.
Yeah,
he's asleep on my feet right now. So.
That's great. That's great. I actually, for those of you on the audience who are curious, he was my gaming buddy for a while. When I was, he came and rested just right on my toes when I was Jell's house gaming for a bit. He worked the room, but he was a sweetheart. I actually had a loss, Sir Winston for years. Sir Winston from, I guess, middle school till about midway through college, and so he had a good, rich life. And then, like a couple of weeks later, I was adopted by a Maine Coon that just like walked into our living room and laid down in the sunbeam and was like, I heard there was an opening. I'm here.
Right.
That's what Nikita just came and like I started feeding her and she just slept on my doorstep, and I had 3 dogs at the time who were not cat friendly, and she just insisted. So eventually I just had to, you know, and now she rules the house, and she has ever since.
I'm not surprised. Duncan, the first time Duncan met Heidi, we were at the point, you know, we'd been spending a lot of time together. We were engaged. The first time Duncan met her, it took him about a minute to tell me to pack my crap and get out. He had traded up. He absolutely loves her. He follows her around the house through the day, and she goes in the kitchen and he lays on her feet, and, you know, she moves back to the living room. It's really sad because he's anxious. And so she moves to the next room and he gets up and he's like, oh, God. And he follows her all day long.
I feel guilty every time I get up and do stuff. Anyway, so yeah, that's the cats. We have lots of critters
and 2 girls. We have an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old. So there are children. Yeah, we have them too.
They're upstairs on their tablets right now.
We locked them in the closet. They're not allowed to come out for an hour.
There you go. That's best way to tend to that. But
no, they're upstairs in their apartment with. They have more living space than we have.
Are you telling me they have like an arcade game, like one of the multi-arcade cabinets or something?
There's actually 2 of them.
Yeah, they have a joust. They have a joust arcade cabinet that is a multi. It also has what is the one that with all of the crap? I can't remember. It's not Dungeon. It's a bunch of players can play it, and there's a wizard and a warrior and
Gauntlet.
Yeah, they have Gauntlet. They have a Gauntlet machine, and they have a Star Wars arcade machine up there too. That's pretty.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they suffer.
They got their Switch taken away though because they were playing it in the middle of the night.
They played it
during the school year.
Night. Yeah, it was like, you know, you go to wake up to go to school, and they're like completely non-functional, and you realize they've been on the Switch all night, so they lost that. That's
well. Poor kids, they've been reduced to tablets and arcade cabinets. How will they survive?
Yeah, they have a hard time.
You're going to disconnect the TV up there eventually, yes?
We're making them read books, and they're like, oh,
no, Amelie loves it. Zoe's like,
yeah.
Anyway.
Just, you know what, just take a Dungeon Master's Guide, a Monster Manual, and a Player's Handbook. When they're at school, put it where the arcade machine was and just wheel the arcade out in the garage. And then when they come home, they're like, there you go. Endless replay value.
I'd be okay with it. I don't think they'd be okay with it.
They might. They like the game. We'll see.
Yeah, they're very different. Zoe's 8 and she's
different
fearless.
from each other. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're different. Yes, they're not different. They're like they are different from each other. Right. I didn't just do that. It's not. That's like, what was that? The presidential moment. You're poking fun. Anyway, no, they're very different from each other. Zoe is fearless. Zoe's absolutely fearless, and she will charge into anything. And I would tell her to, you know, on the stairs, I say, you know, jump, I'll catch you. And she'll jump from like 5 and 6 stairs up. She just leaps.
And they're tall stairs.
And sometimes she does it, and I don't even know. She's like, catch me. And I'm like, holy crap. And Amelie is much more cautious, and, you know, Amelie's the one who reads instructions, and she's thorough. Yes. And Zoe is like, you know, all Thelma and Louise off the cliff. And they're great. It's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yep.
I actually got a couple of good pictures out of your when we were wrapping up at the Till Death playthrough. I don't remember it was Amelie or Zoe took pictures with my camera for me, and or with my phone rather, and I was greatly appreciative of that.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
That was rather decent of her. So to the matter at hand, are you is the Kickstarter thing is that just Is that just how you're going to go forward on all your projects? Just kickstart each one, or?
For now, we're doing it that way. Right now, ERIK is still working full time as the CIO at a hospital group here. So, this is.
I repair things.
No, he's got a lot going on at work. So yeah, we're doing it this way. We'd like to see where it goes from here, but I know that we've got several projects in mind. So it looks like for the near future, probably the next
for a while.
Yeah,
probably for a little bit, because it works out really well. The Kickstarter platform works well.
And we're making sure that we have a lot ready to go by the time we kickstart it so that we can deliver quickly. Right. I think that's imperative. You can't just, there's too many people that say, I don't want to put something out there and say, we're going to take, 5 months to deliver.
Right.
Get it out there and get it in people's hands right away. So.
But we also want to use Kickstarter the way it was intended. We want to get things printed, and for people who missed the Kickstarter, I mean, we have 2 products in our retail store. When this is done, we'll have 4, and we'll have the minis by John Popson. So that was on the last show. People were like, oh, we got to have something from Effing Cool Minis. So we got John Popson. He is doing the sculpt. So the cover art, there's a clockwork scorpion on the cover that Chet Minton did for us that people just love. And
I forgot who suggested it, but it was one of your viewers who suggested it.
Yes. And so all of you need to buy 2.
So yeah, and it's a big investment, but we thought it's really cool.
It really was, yeah, and it's doing well. It's an add-on on the Kickstarter, so we'll have when we're done 6 different ISBNs with this one, and we'll have prints from Chet Minton. We'll have prints from JV West in the store. We'll have a mini, and then we'll work on to the next project. And I would like to have, by the end of the year, a full-blown store where you can have different products. And we've had a few other people talk about doing some work under our name, which is a little weird. We're not sure where to go with that. But we have all these other projects. And I love your cat.
This is my wife's cat, Lexi, the rare.
Oh, hey, hi, Lexi.
Rare and brindle Labrador. We had 2 old lady Labradors when we adopted Lexi, and Lexi was less than a year old, so she was basically raised the first 2 or 3 years of her life by Labradors. Oh. And when we passed on, she was kind of beside herself. And then when we got Zeus, she was just in heaven. She because she didn't cat very well, but she sure can dog. So
yeah, some cats just don't like other cats. My 2 cats would prefer the other one wasn't there.
Right. Yeah. But with regard, it's, again, to touch on the store stuff and everything you're doing. First of all, audience, the chat, that I have to make sure I'm pointing at the right screen. The chat over there, you guys heard it. You motivated these creators. They've got minis now, not just minis, but minis from John Popson. And I'll tell you something. If I have any regrets at all about Gary Con, it's 2, and one is that the missus was not feeling well and couldn't come game with you guys also. But the other one was that I missed John. I didn't see like a setup for Effing Cool, and it was like 5. Oh, I think I saw John, and I could never, because John's a swell guy and he does amazing miniatures, and he's been on the show a couple of times. He's so busy though. It's like getting him back in orbit to sit down and talk is like,
Yeah, this time of year is hard because he's got his restaurant,
Yeah, and but knowing that he's bringing the minis for you guys, I mean, that right there, that's a mark of great quality, and I look forward to seeing those. Now, regular production, this isn't going to be like some limited. Oh, they were print for minutes, you missed it. Sorry, got that right?
No,
we plan on having this. I mean, it's an investment. He's sculpting it. We're gonna. Yeah, we're gonna stock it.
There's want a mini, give me $1,000. I mean, that's what, because by the time you do the sculpt and the mold and everything, it's a permanent thing.
Right. And then you got to pay per to have them made as well. And,
so yeah, everything. And this is everything we're doing. So somebody had contacted me and they wanted to know, GG1, can I still get a copy of GG1? I was like, absolutely. When we did this, we went ahead and we purchased extra. We have inventory. So we plan on having stock of things as people want them. And we're also setting everything up on Drive-Thru-RPG for people who like PDFs. So we're going to build an empire for the 8 and the 9-year-old. That's someday they're going to fire us and they're going to be in charge of it. And it's probably going to be Amelie. Amelie's going to be the one who fires us. Zoe's going to plead for us. And then quietly after we leave, take the corner office. She'll be like, oh yeah, I get the corner office. Okay, yeah, get out.
There you go. Well, I hope that's I hope that's a long time down the road. So have you guys given any thought to other genres, or you can stick strictly with fantasy?
So yeah, so this is, she wakes me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. She's like, I have a great idea for a new game, and it's like, we're up. Yes. So we're going to be playing a game set modern, and so we have to do a modern rule set, and we're going to tie it into 5th edition, but we're going to do a modern rule set that's going to release with the game, and it's going to be horror, modern. Can we tell them the name? We've already copyrighted it.
Yes.
So it's going to be under the name of Shadows over Lake Geneva. And we already have plans for a whole series of games set in the late 40s, using a modern rule set. And we've worked out various people who hardcore gamers might know their names or might have some idea where they were, that will do little cameos while they were still kids, and places that are important to gamers, and even some contemporary stuff that is going on in areas, up north that might have something to do with our games. So
that sounds sounds fantastic. Modern horror, like present day, or like a Gaslight kind of game.
1940s.
Yeah, late 1940s, and there's some, if you search Lake Geneva and things that are going on. Can we even tell them the name of that? We can tell them, because you can. If you go to Gamehole Con. Right now there's the game that we're going to be running is Shadows over Lake Geneva.
The Beast of Bray Road.
The Beast of Bray Road. And if you look at Beast of Bray Road, that's a real
thing. Which is an urban
right?
legend in the area. There's lots of write-ups about the Beast of Bray Road, which is like a werewolf-type creature that people believe is there in Lake Geneva area. In Elkhorn, which is 10 minutes outside of Lake Geneva, and it's been seen. There's been sightings more recently, but going back almost 100 years. And so we thought the first setting, there's some ideas of things that brought up how to get this started that might have to do with the story that my dad told me as a kid
right.
of a chick that, he and his friend played. So setting it in the late 1940s, there's also a lot going on in that area. The stories from family members about things that were going on with the Capone family and different tie-ins to that area.
Because if it's not ghosts, it's gangsters.
So ghosts, gangsters, other things that there's a lot of big mansions in Lake Geneva on the lakeshore area. There's a lot of history, so we've got some things.
Some facilities that are long abandoned or burned down that need to be brought into the lore.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, we've had so much fun researching and looking and creeping each other out. So,
well, that sounds fantastic, and I look forward to seeing all of this. You mentioned Lake Geneva in the 1940s. This is actually, I guess it was in the early 2000s. I was watching History Channel or something, and they were talking about Ma Barker and her gang and the Chicago outfit and that sort of thing. And as I'm watching this recreation, they were talking about chasing. I think it was John Dillinger. I'm not sure, but
And he was killed.
the highway,
Yeah.
pursuing him up the highway into the sleepy little town of Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
Mhm.
And of course, me, D&D nerd, I was like, Lake Geneva.
Yes, yeah. Yes, there is that.
There's a lot of fun history and a lot of cool tie-ins, and the more we talked about it, the more exciting.
Yeah, and my mom has some backstories, and she says that her grandfather. She didn't bring this up. I don't know. It's not documented, but Tomlinson, Big Tom was a money runner for the Capone brothers, and in that era, and there was like a lot of gambling. Lake Geneva and Como, which is like a little neighborhood of Lake Geneva, was it's still like a weekend area for Chicago people. So there was a lot of stuff going on. So there's a lot of interesting things in the area. There's a lot of stories, but.
And I have to tell you, Lake Geneva in late 1940s, this is, you can't find this, but it's true. There were werewolves and various lycanthropes, and there was like possibly vampires and possibly zombie outbreaks and psychopaths and
yes.
So tune in here for more, because
that's amazing. And I tell you, it would be so much fun if at some point down the future, you guys, you've heard the little ditty, my closing credits song, Have You Seen My Owl Bear? The composer of that, Bob Antone, who's just a great guy. He loves cryptid lore and that sort of thing. He is a Bigfoot believer through and through. And anytime you talk about cryptids, and he's asked me before, I've had him on the show once before, and he asked me if I knew whether or not Gary slipped any stuff like that, if there was any Lake Genevan cryptid lore that made its way into Dungeons and Dragons. And I didn't know, but now I'm starting to get kind of the idea that maybe it wasn't an insane wizard and somewhere roaming around out there on the north edge of 50 or out near Sheridan Springs.
Definitely had some stories that he told
knew
us
something for sure
about his childhood home and lots of different things that were going on. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
There had to be. I think anybody who's a fan of Larry Correia, if you're a fan of Monster Hunter International and the series, even one of the spin-offs, Larry Correia and John Ringo did. One of the main character, I mean, he's narrating his own life story, and he's talking about, he's growing up and he's in high school, and because he wants to hang around people who have a brain, he has to hang around people who play Dungeons and Dragons. And it turns out that Dungeons and Dragons was so much help to him later when he was a monster hunter, because if Gary wasn't in the business, he knew somebody who was.
Yeah, he said that. He said that in there. Yes.
Yeah, it's a great reference that that if he was not in the business, he was looped in, and it turns out later, that it saved the monster hunter repeatedly because he'd played D&D, and which is good. I believe it, because I'm reading the books, and sometimes he's telling me what's going on, and I know just what to do because I play D&D.
There you go. What's that immortal line in one of the great episodes of the X-Files, the comedy episode, as I call it? There's a young man saying, "I didn't play Dungeons and Dragons for all those years and not learn a little something about courage."
There we go.
It's such a great line. Jimmy Victor said, "I long suspected Spotted Cow was the milk of an eldritch monstrosity." Hey, Spotted Cow is delicious.
Somebody was asking for another song from Zoe.
Do you want to sing a song?
Okay.
What are you going to sing?
Zoe, you want to say hi to everybody?
I was just singing.
Look over there and say hi.
Look at
in
the funny
camera.
eye.
Wait, the big marble thingy?
The big marble
Yeah,
thingy. Yeah, sing to the big marble thingy.
I am a ghost.
You are a goat.
You're not a
Oh my goodness. Okay, girl. They wanted something. You did a healing spell last time.
Okay.
Yeah, sing a healing spell. Be a cleric.
But I want to be.
My arm is burned. Something burned my arm, and I need to be healed. Heal me. Ow! Ow!
Abadubacus. Kill your armicus.
Oh, you silly. We wanted you to sing. That's okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
sing.
Okay. All right. We'll move on.
We'll move on. Do you need something? How about you and your sister each get another popsicle?
I want to sit here.
Oh, you can sit here with me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go get champagne.
Do you want to get champagne? All right. So we're going to host while you're gone.
Okay.
No, Bill's going to host, and we're going to
Yes.
hold him down.
I'm going to host, and you guys are going to hold me hostage. I have my champagne ready. Don't worry, I've got a couple of these.
Yes.
So,
No. No. Nice. Come on. Stop. Here, you take the seat. Can we see you? All right. So you're right there. You want to see something cool? Heidi is going to get champagne because my life is all hot tub and champagne and writing at 3 o'clock in the morning. You want to see something really cool while she's gone?
yes.
Okay, so we've talked about like our art. So Chet Minton did a fantastic cover for us.
Yes.
It was amazing. And then Chet sent us our back cover, which is amazing. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to mention I do still have the screenshot from when Chet promised to do free illustrations for you guys.
Oh yeah, for the hardcover. Right. Yeah, I messaged him about that. He's like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Yeah, I
Yes.
saved it too."
I have the screenshot. He cannot escape.
He's gonna do it, and we're going to one of our projects. We reach the point where we can fill it up. We're going to do an orange spine hardcover that'll have Gygax on the spine, which is kind of exciting.
That is very exciting. If you need a little work on that done, I know a guy.
Do you? Right.
I know a guy.
The
Are you okay?
so Chat front cover, back cover, and then we got JV West coming back, and he did 10 color illustrations for inside the book that I'm not going to show you. I've been posting a couple of black and whites online, and they're really good. And I've got all the color illustrations, and they look really amazing because JV gives good art. But we just got in the mail, so we went back to Mike Wilson, and people, if they're familiar with Mike Wilson, he's done a lot of stuff for various game companies, and used to work for Wizard Magazine. And Mike, he doesn't do color, but so for one of our encounters, we asked him to do a half page. You want to see it?
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Nobody's seen this yet. We haven't posted it anywhere.
Oh, we're about to.
All right.
Put it up there. That is badass. That is fantastic. Look at that, guys.
I love the little halfling barbarian, whatever she is, and she's got him right where she wants him, right?
That is amazing. Well, I'm pouring to celebrate that. That is
yeah, he's really, really good. We told him what we wanted, and it's so much fun. And that is one of the things we've had such good luck with Chat and with JV and Mike, is we start telling them what we want, and we just tell them a little bit, and then we're like, and they come back with these brilliant pieces of art.
Well, that is amazing. So a couple of questions while you pour, and both of you guys can answer these. Let's see. Both are from Kenneck. She got in. So let's see. We kind of got this. What are your children think of AD&D and what the parents are doing, which I guess would be you guys? Are they having a good time?
Yeah, they played. I mean, they were our play testers for the first, and they played several times. They played at GaryCon as well, but they play tested the first time. They create. Yes, they were part of. They came up with naming things. They created several things. I remember the documentary. What else? There were a couple other things. Some of the names that we came up with, and so they They help
Spider
us out.
reliefs in the documentary just about killed me. I just want to point that out. Not the tree. The tree is fine. The spider.
The leaf spiders. Okay, Bill.
All right.
You being our AD&D converter and OD&D
Yes.
converter.
Yes, and we are very happy we got to that point, and we can include you.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
What's up, Zoe?
So thank you so much.
What do you think about us creating? What do you think about Dungeons and Dragons and playing it? And what do you think about it?
Yeah, that
And
was
we're
one of the-
writing
I
stuff.
think that it's really good.
Yeah. Do you like to play? Do you like that we have Gaxland? She wrote me a really cute note. She said, "My mom and Papa Eric
think I
created
get
Gaxland."
I can go get
Go get it. Yes.
Anyway, yeah.
You asked what our children think of it, and Slycanthrope said the oldest loves it.
Yes.
He just wants to be ungrounded.
Yeah. Lycanthrope super chat. Just I can fix this for you. Just throw a super chat, bro. We'll work things out for you. It's cool. Let's see. Oh, and another question from Connect. She's lighting up the boards tonight. Are you going to reopen the Lake Geneva snow ski hill? Not from that.
I have no control over that at this Right now, I'm not in Lake Geneva full time, but the hope is that we will be in about 7 months or so.
Right. Shh.
Yeah, shh, don't tell anybody because he still works.
I understand.
Your bosses are here watching.
Well,
we're
going to find out tomorrow morning, aren't we? It's not.
So I was watching Bill Sylvie's The Dungeon Delver stream last night, Eric, and yeah, I always try to put my guests at ease and let them know you're in no danger of spilling the beans on anything. I don't think the 30 to 40 people who may be in a given stream are going to rush out. Now I know we had talked about first of all, I want to kind of lead this with all the art that's been in your stuff so far that I have seen is fantastic, and I know we had talked about you guys had mentioned it to a couple of the classic TSR artists. Is there anyone you've got lined up? Anyone from the old days that you've talked to, or something coming?
Not yet. I don't think we have the. I don't think we're there yet.
We don't have the chops yet.
Yes.
Well, it's this thing of what we can, what's in the budget and what we can do, and we have talked to a couple of old school artists. We have reached out, and the immediate response, it's just so far out of our price range.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've had a few people, they have a great idea and they say, you need to do X. And they're right. We do want to do X. But, we were getting ready to go on our honeymoon. We had decided we wanted to put together this, we had to run a module for GaryCon. And then we wrote it and then we added some art to it, and then it became a project, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we basically started a business with no money. I mean, it was not like, we're not poor, but we just sort of started this with the idea and the work. And then we spent money and we, hired some artists and reached out to some people, and they came back with, what we could afford. But so this one has definitely been more successful than the last one, and our art budget expanded. and hopefully our next one will be more successful, and our art budget would expand.
We're pretty happy with the artists that we have now, but
they're so great.
They are really awesome.
But yes, so talking to.
But we do want to keep
talking to some of the other folks who are out there about some projects that we would really like to use some of the old school artists. I mean, I would love to say, we're about to do a module, and I've got 6 original pieces of art by Jeff D and a cover by Jeff Easley, and right, but we're just not there yet. And we just actually did a counting of our first module.
Jeff Easley is one of my.
Oh my God, he's the nicest guy, fellow Kentucky.
Yeah.
He is, but he needs X to do something, and we just don't have X.
We'll talk about it. Down the road.
Yes, sure. We're going to get bigger. We're going to expand. This is you're going to be. You heard it here first, folks. And we want the old school artists.
Yes,
that's great. And again. Just for anybody who's out there, and if you haven't seen what they've got, guys, their art, the stuff that they've got is gorgeous. It's amazing. If they never go to Dave LaForce, Errol Otis, Jeff Easley, Jeff D, trust me, you're not going to be like, yeah, but the art could be better, I guess. No, the art is absolutely fantastic, and it's definitely. I mean, I've said before, and I'll say again, the art of Dungeons and Dragons is largely what drew me in initially. You see a piece of paper in somebody's hand, and it says Dungeons and Dragons. You see a gorgeous piece of full color art. That pops, that drags, that pulls the eye in, and you want to know more about it. And the stuff that you've got by Chet, the lovely Chet Minton, the maps you guys have got, it's all there, and the synergy of just all of those visual pieces coming together makes your stuff so visually appealing, and that A+ across the board with what you've got so far. So to my audience, and of course to you guys, when I say have you reached out to these guys, there's no shade being thrown. I'm not saying have you considered getting better artists, guys. I mean, that's not at all where I'm coming at with that. So that's it's good to see the quality and acuity of the art you got so far, and whether again it's Errol, it's Darlene, it's Dave LaForce, it's whoever it is, Chet. I think you've definitely got it, which brings an interesting question, because this is something that I don't know that a lot of people really think about when they think about I want to have an artist, regardless of whoever it is, working on their project. Did you give the idea? Did you say, look, we want a mechanical scorpion and we want it to look like this? Or did you just say, here's the manuscript, tell us, what do you see in your artistic mind's eye?
You told him you wanted
mechanical clockwork scorpion. Described the so talking about the cover. I knew what that was going to look like. And
he nailed it.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's like, and I'm actually more. You've seen the picture. Do you have the picture of the back cover of the goddess, the mural?
The one, I think I have it on my cover photo right now.
We can't Facebook without losing you.
Yeah, I know.
We're at work. We're not allowed to Facebook at work. This is not. We drink, but we're not allowed to Facebook. It's not.
And because it's all of our pictures are on this. So
and so Chet was not. There was nothing. I mean, he was not discount. It was he would take my call. He knew us, and we had talked. And I actually have. So
I don't know if it's going to show up. It's not going to show. It's not going to show up that
That's
picture.
as bad as
That's a. Let me see. I don't have my Facebook login on this.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
It's
all right. Buy the book. It's amazing. So,
There you go. Look, you guys want to see an amazing piece of art? Buy the book.
But we reached out to Chet because I talked to Chet, and I have this original.
Oh, you're going to talk about it?
I have this original piece of art that Chet drew. This. It was this.
I got this for him, by the way.
She did. She dresses me right down to my. I mean, I'm not wearing anything that I owned before I met her. Anyway,
don't have to.
So many questions, but continue about.
There's no. You don't want to know. So years ago, Chet had posted this drawing of this pirate, steampunk pirate, and it was a black and white. It was a pencil, and he had just inked it. It was just amazing, and I loved it. And so we talked, and he was like, "Oh, well, I'm going to do this," and I said, "Oh, she would look really good with freckles as a redhead." And this is pre-HEIDI, absolutely, And so I bought the original from him, and he did this beautiful print, and she just looks amazing. Anyway, it was after HEIDI was here visiting the first time, and I was like, oh yeah, and and we're getting married, and I was like, and you own some kind of cool art, and I pulled it out, and I was like, oh, here's the original, and then I pulled out the print, which I'd never really looked at, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting. I had him draw you. It was like... So anyway. So Chet, I've known him for a long time. I've known JV. We've played games, and JV is a really good guy. And so they weren't people. It wasn't that we could afford them. It was that I knew them, and I knew what they could do, and they would take our call. And that's Steve Sullivan doing our map was huge. HEIDI reached out to him, and he did this brilliant map.
But Eric has gotten to be an excellent cartographer, and he's doing all the maps.
She tells me, she's like, "Quit screwing with the map and start writing."
He keeps coming back, and I'm like, "Are you screwing with that map again? It was done. Get back to we've got writing to do. We're both writing, like, okay, you work on this dungeon, I'll work on this dungeon, and we go back and forth, and I'm like, you're screwing with the map again."
It's funny because she comes in the room and I close the window really fast. It's like you think I was looking at porn and I'm in Photoshop trying to fix waves, and it's like,
oh no, sure, I know, Eric, in Photoshop.
Yes.
No, it's true. It's really sad. It's so sad. I'm in Photoshop. It's not.
Of course you are, and I think it's great that you say that and that HEIDI believes you.
Yeah. We didn't show this stuff. Okay.
This hasn't been posted anywhere yet. You want to see some more?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So this, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but this is the tomb.
Yeah, and it has there's 8 dungeons, so it's
8 sections. Yeah,
8 sections to the tomb. Yeah, you gotta move it down a bit. You can see all of it. There's lots to it. So we're going to have one big map, and then each section is going to have the blue and white map at the beginning of that section inside the book.
Each chapter will have a non-repro blue of that section.
Right.
And that's going to be the inside of the cover.
The one he just showed you will be the inside cover. And then just that was the 11 by 17 that was unlocked. Are those two? Did you want to show those?
Show those? Yeah. So the 11 by 17s, and then we have the little book. So I don't know if you noticed. So there's this. So it's the compass rose, and so the compass rose. I don't want to give away too much, but so this guy right here is the compass rose, which is what you see on every map.
Right.
And ours actually turned into. So this is the STL that's been painted, and it actually comes apart in the middle. So it's a puzzle. So everybody's going to get the PDF of the puzzle, and you need all the pieces of the puzzle to advance through the map. So it's that's actually what's on the map. And then all the people at a certain backer level are going to get a little journal. And if you notice on the journal is
the
compass rose. So the backers who backed at that level will get this little very, very cool leatherette journal, so they can
it's
keep
just a
their
little mini journal. It's very
absolutely.
cute.
And then the map of the Dundle, the island continent, which we just unlocked. So everybody who is a backer, who's a physical backer, is now going to get an 11 by 17 map.
And if you're a
guide.
digital backer, you'll get it digitally. But this is the one he keeps messing with.
I'm not messing with it anymore, honey. I promise.
Okay.
That's like, she's like, get that out of your hand. It's like, it's Photoshop. And then the backside of that, the backside of the map, and these are just, I printed on my home or my printer. But the backside of it is this is the one that was done by the professional. It's the good one.
But the print is just from the home printer. So these will be professionally printed.
Right.
Heavier paper. This is just our copy here.
And you've seen the dice tower. I mean, we put together a little dice tower that you glue and print. Yeah. So all the physical backers are going to get it printed on cardstock, and they can cut it out and glue it, or just leave it together. And but it's something fun to do.
Yeah,
we've had fun. This has been a lot of fun. So we have one puzzle, a physical puzzle. You got to go find all the pieces and assemble them to make things happen, and you can print it. And then we're I'm going to take your champagne since you took mine. No.
Well, jeez, mine was more cold. Damn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that's all I had to show you. We just
Well, no, that's wonderful. You guys have
fun. And great. We are, our stretch goals and stuff. We're looking at what are the cool stretch goals we should do for next time. If people have suggestions, we're not saying we'll actually do what you suggest, but we're open to suggestions.
We have an interesting suggestion from someone in the audience for your next stretch goals. I mean, I hear
Bill again.
Lucky you guys to listen to them or not. It's Thank you, random.
We're really hoping that you'll be at GaryCon. You and Colleen will be up at GaryCon again this year because we need you to come over to our house and play with us.
We're trying to reserve a seat for you.
No, there's an open invitation for you and Colleen to come play.
I hope I can, guys. It's, it's.
Well, I know somewhere we can, can get a badge, but I can't supply the plane ticket and the time off. But but
no, I understand. I appreciate that. If I can possibly make it happen. I mean, that's also kind of towing the line a little bit because this March is my wife and I's 25th wedding anniversary. So
what a better way to celebrate it than a GaryCon. No, I'm just kidding. I know.
Dear, I have a surprise for you.
Colleen's like,
know how you wanted to go to a little resort town to celebrate her? She'd know the second I started saying that. She'd be like, keep talking.
Yeah.
Just keep talking.
Yeah.
But if I can possibly make it happen, if the stars
will not, there will be other opportunities, I'm sure.
You guys are great, and your hospitality is par excellence. And I had so much fun hanging out with you guys at the game. And let me tell you, just for my audience sake, if you're at that rarefied air of backer level or you're close to it, spend the extra because gaming with these guys is a load of fun. And who knows, you might get to see ERIK with physical injuries. So
yeah,
his head is better, but we're
said no one ever. We're not.
but the rib, we'll see.
How is the rib? How are you doing there?
It is not healing, but we're gonna figure it out.
Okay.
It has not knit, and it is what it is. It's okay.
I can 3D.
He can still create. He can still write. It's all good.
I can clean a cat box. I'm good.
He can walk a dog and clean a cat box. We're so good. That's so wrong.
There's a helmet for Erica stretch goal. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Oh, put it up there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they'll heal. It's just taking a while.
Yeah, well, we absolutely have nothing but best wishes for you on the rib healing, because for those who don't know, and I'm going to tell the perspective from the gamer, and if you want to add anything, guys, that's fine. So we get there Sunday afternoon about 1:00. And I guess, there was preamble because there was a trip to a package store waiting for pizza and so on. And we're sitting there and we get going in the game. And Eric just casually mentions that he fell on the sidewalk and split his head open on the ice outside. And Eric, I swear, hand to God, I'm not trying to embarrass you or make you feel bad.
I hit my head on the ice.
He shows us and he's got this terrible injury, and the reaction from everyone in the room is, dude, you need to go to the hospital. The game can wait. We can call this. And no, I'm fine. So you plow through till like 5:00 that evening. We had a rollicking great time. Then I come home and like 36 hours later, I'm catching up on social media, finally hitting the point where I'm getting up with current events. And Eric announces that when he fell on the ice, he also completely broke one of his ribs off. And yeah, let me tell you, if my nose is stopped up, I'll cancel a D&D game. I am a complete slack.
That's really important that you just said that. So early on, Heidi and I were dating, and I realized, we were going to keep dating. And one of her friends made a comment about their husband and a man cold. And Heidi let out this derisive snort. And she said, "Oh, yes, the man cold." And immediately my brain is like, I will never be sick. If it's anything less than a gunshot wound, I'm going to work, And it's got to be a large caliber. If it's a pussy little 22 caliber, I'm going to work.
So whenever he's sick, he's like, it's just, it's just a minor gunshot wound. I don't need to.
I don't get sick.
He's like, he doesn't get sick. He's like, yeah. Finally, I'll be like, okay, I have a minor gunshot.
I have crap to do. Dogs to walk.
Yeah.
Kids to raise.
Yes, he's very stoic. But yeah, he cracked his head open. He messaged me, and I thought he was joking. He's like, I split my head open. There's a lot of blood. I don't want you to be afraid. I'm like, wait, what? He messaged me from the parking lot. This was during GaryCon. We were loading up the car at 7 a.m. He was loading the car, and I was like, what? And I run outside with a towel, and he's coming in, and he's bleeding all over the place, and but that wasn't the worst of it, because the head was not a big deal. It's the rib that's been the problem. Yeah, the head,
And nothing important there. It was like, it wasn't anything vital. It was like,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's what they said. They did a CT in my head, and they're like, we didn't find anything. It's like, yeah, I've heard that before.
That's not true. But anyway, everything's good. And no, we've got a lot of, we are planning lots of fun, good things.
I have the best people in the world taking care of me, by the way.
Yeah.
Good. That's important. I think, family is the best thing you can have. I mean, I got a visit from the COVID fairy right after GaryCon, and I was like, please don't let me have carried that into Heidi and Eric's house. But
you're okay.
It hit me, and my family, God bless them, they descended on me to take care of me when I got sick, and then they all promptly got it like a day and a half later.
Oh no!
So we had it.
I had it early on before there was a vaccine, and but I got over it. I had it. I had it early on,
Mins is like, you must die. You must all die.
Mins is like, I was just coming in here. I didn't like to be. She doesn't like to be picked up.
And she doesn't like to be on camera or whatever. Yeah, she's a newspaper girl.
Crackbone says, come back, you coward. We have an OD&D game. Of course you're bleeding from a head wound and have a broken rib. That's just the first room.
And she's going to be in there.
It's so funny. She's trying to see if she likes it or not. It's like, I'd kill you in a minute.
I want to, there's something, and I wanted to ask you last time because, Heidi, you've probably got the corner market on cool D&D stories. Because, I can mention one or two fun things from the maybe 3 times I gamed with your dad that are kind of cool. But you've got an entire lifetime of no shit there I was. Excuse me. Pardon me. No kidding.
Okay. She's never heard it before. Yeah.
No kidding. There I was. D&D stories.
He's a bad man. He's a very bad man.
No, he's not. He's very.
I already know what that means. It means poop.
Oh, wait. Hey, do us a favor, real quick. Spell butthole.
BOTT-HOLE.
The hyphen.
My job here is done.
I tell everyone you got to watch your hyphens. So when you say I want a huge ass pizza, you got to be careful where you put the hyphen. Do you want a huge ass pizza or do you want a huge ass pizza?
Ass pizza, or do you want?
But anyway, so no.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Eric, I want to hear.
Ask a pizza what to eat.
I want to hear your no kidding there I was D&D story, and no using Heidi, no saying, well, I was gaming with Heidi Gygax.
No, what was your? He has way better stories, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Carl. So probably my favorite D&D story I was playing.
Oh, I built it. Go on.
I was playing a game and I had done, the prep, and it was a 1930s modern game. And I had turned the lights down a little bit. We were doing this whole thing where we were getting ready to adventure, and all the players were talking to this fortune teller. And so I was doing my very best Romanian accent, and we're looking at your hands and your palms, and I'm very concerned with what I'm seeing. And one of the players, he's like leaning across the table and he's totally into it. And it was my first game room. I got to send you videos of my game rooms, by the way. I used to have the best game room ever.
Oh, I want to see him.
I'll send them to you.
Well,
but
we have to make a good game room.
We are going to have the best. Yes.
For March.
Right.
Yeah.
Roll a 1, take a shot. Anyway, the pickle juice shot, right? The roll a 20, you get bourbon. Anyway, it was so one of the players, I'm not going to say who it was, but it was Carl Black, and if he's watching, I'm sorry, Carl. But he's leaning in, and we're talking about the game, and there was reflections, and they were on this train, and they're traveling through the night, and this is vampire thing, and there's copies of Bram Stoker's Dracula laying around because that was very popular at this point. And there's this creaking noise down the hallway. I was renting space in this office building, and there was creaking noise, and he's like freaking out. And he gets up. He's so into the game, he had to go and check the doors. And he goes down the hall, and it's not like he just goes down the hall. He gets up, he turns on the light in the game room, he steps on the hallway, he turns on the light, and you hear him walk all the way down the hall, and he fiddles with the door, and then you hear him walk back up the hallway, and he turns off a light, and then he steps in the room, and he makes sure he's good, and he turns off like the big main lights. We're back to the lamps, and he sits back down, but the whole time he's staring down the hall. And I was like, I'm the best GM ever. I've got this guy, a grown man. I'm not, I'm 32, right? So at that time he was at least like 34 because he's older than me.
Yeah.
But I have this grown man who's raised 3 kids, and I've got him to the point where, we're playing and he's so into it. He's spooked. He's freaked out by
right.
Charles was.
He is not. He's a total wuss. Yeah.
I love Carl, but yeah, if he's not watching tonight.
If he is, you want to see if he'll make a comment? Carl is my assistant. Nah, he's not.
You should have let Zoe say it.
What's
Who's Carl Black?
He's Papa's
awesome.
That's great. So Zoe, do you have any awesome tales from the gaming table that you'd like to share?
You played. Say something fun that you did when you were playing D&D. Loud.
So I remember when we were playing a game and yeah, nothing.
You don't remember?
No.
Yeah.
No,
You do.
no, you do.
remember.
What about when you played and we were Hulk smashing?
Oh yeah. I remember when I played the game and I don't remember what the name of it was, but like Hulk Smash was one of the attacks, I think.
Yeah, that was in one of my games at GaryCon. And you had Hulk Smash. That was before this game. That was a fun one. I know you had fun there. You've been playing for, I don't know, you're 8 now, so you've been playing since you're about 5.
Actually, I remember playing when I was 3.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there you go. Alert. There you go. I mean, she's
Seriously.
Well, actually.
Because when I was 4, I remember looking through my book and I was in my dragon costume rolling dice.
Yeah. Okay, well there you go.
There you go. When she rolls up on y'all and breaks out her wood grain set, you'll know.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, my favorite game memory is I did play with Heidi. So I had to come up with the other one. I'm sorry. I hate telling fibs. It's like she was amazing.
Tell it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Eric.
Oh,
Come
I
on.
think I told. It was so we were in this game. It was at GaryCon and she was running it
in 2017.
And yeah, and I mean I knew
At
her and we were
GaryCon.
talking and we were at GaryCon and oh man. So and it's funny because she remembered this later. So we were sitting there, we're playing the game, and she had a co-host who was helping her. I'm not gonna say his name, but it was Edwin, who you gamed with on that set when you were with us at GaryCon. And
it's on my left, wasn't he?
and there was and so there was this
Killed Edwin's character, by the way. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
we were hearing orc snorts, and I was just a little bit smarmy. I said, I'm going to need to hear those orc snorts. And she said,
I said,
okay. And when she did that, I had just taken a drink of something that might have been bourbon.
Bourbon, yes.
And
Because
suddenly
we had a private room, you know.
Yeah. And I inhaled it, and it goes up into my sinuses, which you've ever had bourbon in your sinuses. It's intense. And I'm from Kentucky, you know, it's a drink of my people. And I jumped up and also realized at that point I was in desperate need of going to the bathroom because I had to go.
He started laughing, and all of a sudden he's going like this. I need a break. And so the whole room, we took a 10-minute break. And I remembered him from that.
Yeah. So I go and I get my sinuses clear and I get my break. The restroom is like right outside of the room. It's one of these bay gaming rooms that's over. So I go to the restroom and then I'm looking in the mirror and I'm washing my face and I'm clearing my sinuses out.
Right.
And
Jack
I look in the mirror and I realized I have a terrible crush on HEIDI Gygax. And I was not in a position to have a crush on HEIDI Gygax. And there's a whole bunch. They don't know what they saw. There's a dozen guys who walked past me, and I'm standing there looking in the mirror going, no, this is terrible. This is this horrible thing. I even thought about not going back in the game room. I thought about just walking away and not going back in.
He was not.
No, I mean, I
He
wasn't.
was
I wasn't in a position to have a crush on anybody. I was grown up.
He was not single.
I was not single, and I didn't have crushes on people. This was not. I was like, oh, this sucks.
We didn't start dating.
No, we were friends for years.
Yeah, we were just friends.
We talked about dogs and cats and gaming and
kids. And I lived in Hawaii. He lived in Kentucky.
But when we reached a point where we were both available to talk about stuff, she invited me out to lunch and kissed me.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, she's saying ew.
No, I'm saying ooh.
What
Are you?
I remember a story.
What's your story?
Let's hear it.
Probably know this, but so once, we were running a game, and Papa died, and
I died.
Yeah, you died in the game.
Okay, I died in the game, and then what happened?
So me and Emily we're going over to give all the people who had died a you died sticker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we came over to Papa's paper, and it said something.
Look at the camera.
Oh, it said Heidi is hot.
Heidi. Oh, that was that. That was.
Oh, I was in Heidi's games. It was years later with Alan Hammock. He was sitting next to me, and I was sitting there. I died, so I was doodling, and I doodled Heidi is a hottie, and she read it. It was like, but you are.
Well, of course.
He can say that, you know.
Of course.
You're married. But yeah, the kids were like, "What? Why did you write that on? Why did you write that on the paper? Heidi is a hottie." They both said it out loud. Heidi is a hottie. Why did you write that? It's like, oh. They remember that.
It's a good story.
But you know what? Oh, she rated him today.
Oh,
what did you say?
Oh boy.
I rated him off of if I just saw him walking on the sidewalk, I would rate him an 8 because I didn't. Because I'm basing this off of if I didn't even know him.
But if you knew me, what would you rate me?
Probably a 10.
Probably a 10.
Well, there you go, Eric. I mean, you can't argue with that. You can't argue with that.
Zoe,
an 8-year-old just killed him and rated him. Oh my god. Okay.
I thought she was going to go for like the internet kids. They do the tiers, like S tier is even above an A, and then you got A. Yeah.
Someone asked Heidi today, and but the question was, do you guys write your own modules?
I told him that.
Well, yeah, but they don't all know.
Yeah. So you know, tell the whole spiel. You gotta. You don't have to say the game, but I gotta hear this again. The audience has got to hear this.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Zoe, how much of the modules do you write?
80%.
Yeah.
8's an important number when you're 8.
Yeah. You write about 80% of it, right?
Totally.
Zoe's gonna red pen my AD&D conversions, isn't she?
No, that'll be Amelie.
Garbage.
Yeah, you're gonna get little notes. You know, well, actually.
Technically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Zoe, no.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We know.
For some reason, she always goes, no, Zoe.
You share living space with her, I know.
All right. So anyway.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, Lycanthrope. I got to put that up on the screen. That's a super. There's a target on my back that I may have not placed on myself. Either way, here's your super chat. Thank you, Lycanthrope.
Nice.
So Lycanthrope, he cannot be grounded anymore, right?
No.
Well, no. I mean, I haven't been able to ground him since he was as tall as I am, and so that's my son. That's Jason.
Right.
And how old are you? 41?
30. She's 30. 34. 34.
Is it 34 or 35?
34.
He can answer.
Well, we'll see what comes up in the chat. So you had some rando was like, yeah. How much do you guys write your modules? And then wasn't there somebody like grilling you about the D&D movie? And again, you don't have to, you don't have to deep dive that if you don't want.
Somebody who was trying to get me to push his project. Do you have what? He's like, what groups can I push my project on? In which groups? And I'm like, I don't really know. I don't do that. We just work and do our projects and let me say. And so, yes, go change in your pajamas.
Oh, it is that time.
Yeah. And then, he then today, that was weird. And I said, no, I can't like promote your stuff. I don't, he wanted me to do a review of it. I said, I don't have time. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he's not a bad person. Time. I mean, it might be wonderful. It's time. I just didn't have the time. We've got a lot going on. And so I was like, I'm sorry. And then he was like, today he was like, well, do you guys write your own stuff? And I'm like,
no. We leave cookies out for the elves at night, and they come out and they give us 4,000 pages each morning.
Yes.
And folks, in case you're wondering, I'm getting a plate of cookies too. So no, I'm kidding.
Shame on you, Dad.
I knew the answer.
Joke. There's Lycanthrope says, good on you, Heidi. Shame on you, Dad. Look, I'm not getting in the middle of a family thing here, so I'm just going to go ahead and zip that off the screen. We actually do have a question, and then I think if people are getting into pajamas there, I understand if you guys need to wrap. But this came from Kabuki. This was, what is a favorite non-D&D RPG?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's directed at you. I was just thinking about it.
Either, both.
Castles and Crusade. That's pretty much D&D, though, isn't it?
Which one?
Castles and Crusade.
No,
doesn't count.
Can't. Well, I mean, okay, so my
C&C.
Castles and Crusades is like my go-to.
I played it with Jim Ward before.
But yeah, so you're like not.
Are you saying like non?
Like non-fan. I'm gonna step on Kabuki a little bit here, and I'm gonna speak non-high fantasy, non-low fantasy, just outside the realm.
Mine would be Call of Cthulhu. I've had some of the most fun games playing Call of Cthulhu.
Did you get? Okay, I'm gonna interrupt because I do want to hear Heidi's answer to this too. But did you get this when it came out? This is a reproduction of the Call of Cthulhu 1E box that Chaosium released. I think they still have them for sale. But this is basically the 1982 set, and they republished it. It's worth your time. I'm not like trying to shill for Chaosium, but damn, this is nice. This would be like if Wizards sacked up and actually released a proper
sack up, Wizards. Sack up. It was not.
Like they got their bag full of courage, is what I mean. Of course,
right?
No. Not a bag full of something else. We're not. No, can't think of one.
Well,
D&D.
There you go. I mean, she knows what she likes, Kabuki. And what can I tell you?
Just the other things we played with my dad were always like board games, card games. We used to play Mahjong. Yeah, I don't know. Mahjong, it's a Chinese tile game.
Right.
We
You got
used
sketchy
to
green?
play
Tell me.
card games, Chinese checkers, of course, chess. We played all kinds of other games. And he even made one of my favorites. He was working on a board game that he never published. And it was really fun. And it was only like he had made it and drawn it out and cut out the pieces, because this is before, like computer stuff that he did. But it was when he lived with my stepmother and stuff. But we were over there, and it was called Haunted, the working title is Haunted House. And it was a really fun game. And I remember I would joke with him because one of the cards that came up was like a chill draft, and he had spelled it DRAUGHT. And so when I would get a chill draft comes across, I'd be like, oh, good, glug, 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 glug.
Chill draft.
Yeah, because he didn't always spell things. He was a very smart guy. But my mom, I remember when he was writing, and I was a kid, my mom would always be like, he'd be in the den, and she'd be in the kitchen, like doing dishes or cooking, and he'd yell out like, how do you spell, such and such, and she'd be like, da, 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 da. So the chill draft, I still remember that. But the Haunted House game was fun. But no, I can't think of other RPGs and other, that weren't high fantasy. So,
No, I completely get it. I mean, D&D is the thing that scratches my itch completely. I totally understand that. So that actually leads to an interesting question, and we're going on about 90 minutes. I understand if it's getting late there and you guys are about to pumpkin, but I do have to ask this. And would you say your mom is the source of half of what we grognards call HEIDI?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I would say she was more supportive than people would like to say, because she wasn't thrilled about people coming over and sleeping on the floor and bringing their sleeping bags and gaming all weekend when she had kids.
Right.
She was not that supportive of that, but she was definitely there and helped proofread stuff, helped him with things. But yeah, my dad and his Hygaxian, that's definitely Gary.
Fair enough. And around this show, we love our Hygaxian. We absolutely do. I mean, Gary taught me the definition of fecund. I was like, half orcs are fecund. What the hell does that mean? Straight to the dictionary. Aha.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time around a dictionary. So Tonka Todd, what is that question? Have either of you played
he says, have either of y'all played Starfleet Battles? If so, favorite faction?
I have not played Starfleet Battles in years. I used to love it. So Amarillo Design Bureau, the people who do Starfleet Battles, they do Prime Directive, which is amazing RPG. I've had so much fun playing Prime Directive. But I'm going to jump away from the table. One of the things we're going to do while everybody is still in Kentucky, there's a game called Artemis, which you run a virtual Starfleet bridge. You have a captain who has no controls. He sits in a chair, and he basically tells the navigator, the weapons officer, the science officer, the engineer, and the communications officer what to do. And each of them has a console. And you pilot a starship. And it's so much fun if you're drinking. I'm just going to tell you, especially if the captain's drinking. It's so much fun, and we're going to play it before we leave. I think they have it set up in GaryCon. But, so I just saw Starfleet Battles leads into Prime Directive, which leads into Artemis, which, is fun when you're drinking.
Excellent.
What's the question, Tongue of Tide? Yes, Starfleet Battles. I don't remember factions. It was a long time ago. I'm old.
There you go. So I think these kids have probably got to get some rest here. It's not like you guys are busy or anything, but we'll let Kabuki get the last shot in then, folks. And if you have any questions, now's your chance. I'm sure Heidi and Eric will come back. I just mean for tonight. At least I hope you'll come back. like rapidly crossing me off your friends list. But let's see here. Nope, that's not it. It scrolled up. Did Gary write with a dictionary and thesaurus thesaurus next to him at all times?
I think he had a lot of that in his brain, but I have to say that it was definitely there as along with the Encyclopedia Britannica printed out. I remember seeing like in really old, what would you call it? Like a really old version of Encyclopedia Britannica was up on the shelves, and reference books. But other than seeing those books, I remember seeing like just books everywhere. I mean, books and my dad were just, anywhere he was, there were stacks and shelves of books. So
shift over.
Right on. Yeah. Right on. So,
but yes, I was raised to be a grammar Nazi.
Thank you, everyone. Please super chat. I just got demonetized.
No, I used the wrong word. Sorry. No.
Yahtzee. She said Yahtzee, referring to the five.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. But no,
She did not see that coming.
We were held to a very high grammar standard in our household. There.
That's fine. No, that's fine. We're far enough in that the Google censorship bots are like, we're not watching this.
What did I say?
Oh, these two again. Oh, what the hell?
We're not watching this garbage anymore. Anyway,
no, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. I'm just kidding. But anyway, anything in parting? Any upcoming stuff you guys want to tease or anything like that?
Oh, you guys do so much.
You don't want to.
What do you want to talk about?
No, we already talked about Shadows.
Yeah. Shadows of the Lake Geneva coming soon.
That is a big one. We don't want to talk about the other one.
And we're so we're going to be working with, we've talked to John Murakami, who's an artist from Hawaii.
Yeah.
So we already know what Tomb of the Dundle Chief, we know what the next game, the next module, the next part of the story is past that. We know the name of it, and we know the artist who we're going to be working with primarily for the inside. We're going to get Chet to do some cover art and JV to do the other side of the cover. But John Murakami is an artist from Hawaii, and he's going to be doing.
We're going to talk to him. Yeah.
And I think we're gonna. So we know what that is, and we know several small projects that we're going to be doing, and then we want to do a game. We want to do a whole game, the whole thing. Like all of it from the ground up, all the mechanics and a whole new game, a whole new concept.
It was something that that's the one that I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, I just had this dream about this game. And anyway, but we don't want to talk about it because.
And I was like, oh, it's 4:00. We're going to go back to sleep. And then I lay there staring at the ceiling going, oh, hell. It was like we were up. It was like, so, yeah.
That is wonderful. Well, thank you again so much, guys. I love you all to pieces. Thank you for being here. And guys, again, I will real quick, let me see if I still have this in the old buffer there. Yeah, let me just put this up on the screen real quick. Back this, okay? Heidi and Eric make great Dungeons & Dragons products. And look, I don't care if you are still clinging to your wood grain set or you have a 3 linear feet high stack of 5e stuff, you're going to find something here that's going to scratch your gaming itch. Okay, so please do check them out. And of course, you guys will come back. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot just before we wrap. I'm going to put you on the spot. Next year, Great Underground Online Gaming Convention 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This year,
keep reminding us. This year we just
it didn't work out with the timing because I have some medical.
I know. And believe me, that's if you were just like, nah, we don't want to do it, I'd be like up your nose about it. But no, I understand you got stuff going on. So hopefully next year you can come and sit at your computers for 3 days and have fun. Because that's
not what we do all week. It's not.
So check out the Kickstarter, guys. We love seeing y'all here, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Zoe, thank you for keeping them in line. I really appreciate it because honestly,
You say you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Welcome, Uncle Bill.
good night, guys. Thank you for being large and in charge. And I leave you, Zoe, with a very important question as I zoom out, and that is for you, Zoe, and everyone in the audience. Have you seen my owl bear?
Seen my owl?
You're about to hear the song.
Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in the street? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.